equations word problem that came in from one of our fans last night. So we'll walk through this problem step by step. It says Alberto and Willie each improved their yards by planting daylilies and ivy. They bought their supplies from the same store. Alberto spent $64 on 3 daylilies and 8 pots of ivy. Willie spent $107 on 9 daylilies and 7 pots of ivy. And the question is, what is the cost of 1 daylily and the cost of 1 pot of ivy? So first, this is important because you know that they're going to pay the same cost for ivy and daylilies. So first, let's write out some assumptions. I always like to set my variables first. D be the cost of 1 daylily, and let I be the cost of 1 pot of ivy. I always declare my variables of whatever I'm representing the first letter, so D for daylily and I for ivy. So we'll just call this assumptions. And then we'll split that out. Now what we want to say is givens. We're told that 3 daylilies plus 8 pots of ivy equals $64 as seen by Alberto spending. And then what we want to do is do the same for Willie. So Willie had 9 daylilies plus 7 pots of ivy for a total cost of $107. And so now we have what's called simultaneous equations or systems of equations. To solve these, you can use 3 methods. So to solve this system of equations, you can use any of 3 methods below. And they're called, let's do substitution method, elimination method, and this is up to you to pick, by the way. You can pick whatever you like the best. So go here, and we're going to say there we go. So I'm going to take these 2 equations, and you can pick what method you want. We're going to paste them in. And first, we're going to do substitution. So we'll click this here. And I'll leave the links for you in the video for reviewing the math in this. But what we want to do is the substitution method just substitutes one variable for another. It's going to come through here and solve. So for this, we get I equal to 5 and D equal to 8. So I'm going to paste the link for the substitution method here. And then we can show the elimination method next. So what elimination method does is it seeks to eliminate one of these variables using a common factor. So what it's doing is it's saying 27 is going to be the common factor between 9 and 3. So what it does is it's going to make one equation positive 27 and one equation negative 27 for D. And when you do that, you get this simplified equation. So now all you care about is I. We come through here, simplify, evaluate, we get I equal to 5. Then we're going to run I equal to 5 into the first equation for D, and we get D equal to 8. So if you notice, the elimination and substitution methods have the exact same 2 answers as they should, because what you're doing here is it's 3 different ways to skin the cat, or 3 different ways to get to the same solution. So this time we'll do Kramer's rule, and this is one of my favorites because it kind of gets you to the solution a lot faster. So Kramer's rule uses determinants, which you'll learn in linear algebra, but essentially you're calculating a delta, which is AE minus BD. And just so you know, it's A, B, C for the coefficients, and D, E, and F. So it's AE minus BD. And by the way, I list out A through F here, just in case you don't understand. Here's delta. And then what we do is we want to calculate a numerator for D, which is just CE minus BF, and calculate the numerator for I, which is AF minus CD. Once we're done, D is just numerator D divided by delta, and that's 8. And then I is numerator I divided by delta, which is 5. Now, as you could see, we got the same answer we did from elimination and substitution method. Paste that link in there for you. We could say no matter what method we use, we get the same answer. Say D equal to 8, I equal to 5. So we'll go ahead and bold those there for the answer. And that is it. So these problems are dead giveaways for two unknown simultaneous equations. When you're given a quantity for one, a quantity for another, and a cost, and they do the same thing for either another person or another company. And that's how you know it's going to be a two unknown systems of equations problem. So that's it. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next stream.